I got the mic off.
Okay, Grand Rising, everyone. You know what? It's night, so not necessarily Grand Rising, but good evening. No, it is. It's rising. It's
Oh, shoot.
12:48. So that was appropriate. Just wanted to let you guys know that we're running on time as we have a few other things that we had to do, but nonetheless, we made it to you guys. And we're excited about our new moon ritual. We still have this great energy. Just want to put it out into the atmosphere. Got your candles going. There's the list is getting slimmer and slimmer. And for those of you that are Patreon members that did not send in your petition, so we just ask for abundance, creativity, peace, love, and light, and protection. For those of you that did, we have your candles that are burning. And I think it was like 3 of you outside of Patreon that actually participated, which is not a problem. We're truly grateful for the small amount. Okay, wouldn't have it any other way. All right. So we're going to do a reading and also feel led to tell you guys that it's time to exercise our spirits, not necessarily our physical body right now, but to begin to exercise our spirits in preparation for some things to start shifting in a major way. When we talk about exercising our spirits, I'm talking about lining up with our the elements, which are the forces of nature. So allowing the elements to manifest in your life, okay? To work with the elements as we have every element inside of us, okay? And that's basically what I wanted to say. Also, it's a time for you to start working on your manifestations that you should begin to see more of by the full moon. Do not get weary in well doing. I encourage you to continue on doing your rituals. This is for you guys, not for us, okay? Because we're going to make sure that we carry on. This is for you. And do not give up. Perseverance is real. And without it, there's no way that you can achieve one of your goals, okay? And the other thing is ascension. So you got to push. It's going to be a lot of times you're going to want to quit. Oh, I haven't seen anything yet. Oh, what the hell? You're cheating yourself, okay? But when you trust the no source and you're just not babbling, you understand that things take time. So a seed is dropped into the ground, it must first die. And then we wait for the harvest on it, okay? All right, so hmm, okay. So I laid my cards out. Yeah, we're doing rituals, and so I was just paying attention to some things on there. Um, I'm gonna do my deck first. I'm not deck, but my first three cards. The first one is the Ten of Wands, and when we talk about the wands um, deck suit, we're talking about projects and inspirations. Okay, and so some of you, this shows as a past card, may have taken on a lot, and you're feeling overwhelmed at this time. But Source has a word for you. We're reading from the Golden Tarot, and this is the author Liz Ding. Okay, it says there is too much responsibility to shoulder, and agreements you made in the past have become a great burden, as well as having too much work to do. You may be carrying the financial load or moral burdens. When this card appears early on in a reading, it suggests that you lay out your cards again when you have a little bit more mental. Ooh, that fell off. Space. So, okay. So basically, we have to pay attention to what Source is saying. The next card is some of you are really overwhelmed. And in this case, what I would ask you to do is go in there and go and cleanse, maybe do a spiritual bath, or simply meditate. Okay, I'm sorry, guys, because normally we would stop the reading if it was on a person that was coming to see us for a reading. Okay, so the Eight of Wands is reversed, and when we talk about wands again, it's inspiration and projects. All right, and so it says here there's great news about a trip or project. I'm sorry, that was the upright card. This card reverse talks about discernment. And so it says you may hesitate before accepting offers because it is unclear if some are genuine or false. Okay, it is better to turn down a proposal than invest time in a project that may not stand up to your scrutiny. Frustration may also be an issue as you cannot seem to communicate with those who have the power to accelerate events and create genuine opportunities for you. So basically, with this past card saying there's a heavy burden, and this next card, which is an eight reversed, it talks about your discernment. Basically, pay attention to what you're feeling because your intuition is gonna save you. Always remember the first voice is really what you need to heed to. And the second one is really sent to talk you out of what Source is saying do. So this one talks about the proposal and projects. Though the offers are coming, you probably can't really trust the situation. So my advice to you is to kind of stand back, just stand down on these opportunities, engagements, or relationships. Okay. Last card is the Tower card. This is a major arcana. A very, very important event has happened in your life, and it's totally out of your control. Everything is pretty much in shambles and falling apart. Source is allowing this to happen, and it's going to be a blessing in disguise. But it has to happen so that the whole edifice, that edifice has to fall, or that relationship had to fall, or that house, you had to lose it, that car, whatever it is, you had to take the fall, or it had to actually be taken away. Why? Because Source wants to rebuild for you. Okay? Has nothing to do with you. Do not blame anyone else. This is a pure act of nature. Nature says it's time to redirect your path. I'm just freestyling that one. It's just time to pretty much redirect your path. Stop crying over the shambles. It's all a blessing in disguise. Okay, this is a good time to pick up everything and try again. This is a time of creativity. You have 14 days before the full moon and manifestation. Great things can happen for you if you stay open. Do not start blaming people and going through the craziness, okay?
So my first card is the Judgment card, and it talks about making final choices. So somebody has been kind of standoffish and not wanting to be responsible because they know if they make the decision, they're going to be accountable for whatever they have to do. But it says, whatever the situation, you are ready to take stock of your ability to face your shortcomings, making any amends that are necessary. And when the ancestors are talking about shortcomings, you're gonna have to lose something. I don't know who this person is, but they are afraid of losing one thing from the next. They don't want to give up whatever it is that they have to be able to get what they want now. But you got to give up something. And this happened the last moon that we did, and the last card I got was for giving one option, the Lover's card. Yep, that's what it was, the Lover's card, giving an option. You got two options, two pathways you could choose. And now it's time for you to make your decision. Source gonna make you make it anyway, or it's gonna make it for you. But it says this card assures that your judgment is clear, balancing perfectly the intuitive self and logical thinking mind. So you're very balanced. You already know what the decision is to be made. Just go ahead and do it now. Don't be scared.
And also with the Judgment card, they're probably having a hard time forgiving themselves as well.
Oh yeah, self-trust.
You're judging yourself really harsh.
Others. Judging yourself and others too. So you got some time to think about it. Hopefully you do. But like she said, by the full moon, that decision need to have already been made. The next card is the Hierophant. And these are both major arcanas. These my two first cards.
That more or less talks about giving up that belief. That belief that they've been holding on to and exploring spiritual things.
And this could work kind of very similar to that last one. The last card. Okay, so the Hierophant is the philosopher and spiritual guide. So it's like a mentor. Again, mentor. We talked about this before already. But this card appears when it's time for someone to further their knowledge, their studies, their skills. And most of the time it's on the more spiritual aspect than it is a physical. So it says, this card may represent a trusted spiritual teacher, priest, or therapist who is guiding you down a particular path of discovery. Or perhaps you take on this role. Our elders have much to teach us, but we should always question what we are told rather than blindly follow in another's footsteps. And just, I like to use the example of like religion, any kind of religion, not just Christianity, but a lot of times, and it's for simple things. We always do what our parents done for years, and we don't know why. We just feel like, oh, that's right because they did it for so many years, so it's right for me too. But you have to find your own path, and the only way you'll be able to do that is through meditation and seeking truth. That's how you're gonna seek truth, through meditation. That's what's gonna help guide you in the right direction. But you do need a mentor. Everybody needs one. I mean, that's what people are here for you to be able to get help so that you can understand what's going on. And then that way you can be able to learn how to help somebody from that person that helps you. But it also says avoid conforming for the sake of pleasing others. So, let's say you're not really feeling going to church. You've been studying a little bit. You're not sure why, but been looking into a lot of different things, and your mother wants you to come, so you just decide to come. Don't force yourself to do something like that because you, it's like you're wasting your time. You don't need to be there. It's not doing nothing for
Pleasing
you.
others.
And right, that's about pleasing others. So it's just messing yourself up, and then you're gonna be back here again. It says this card may indicate that you are focusing on the needs of a group rather than the individual. So caring more about other people's situation, what other people got going on, how you gonna help that person instead of helping yourself first, so you could be able to help, a couple of more people along the way. And that's not part of self love anyway. So whoever this is, since you're having such a hard time, you may want to start on that path of self love. Then start meditating, doing your affirmations. So it's a lot, that you'll need to do to be able to break that feeling of, oh, I gotta help this person. If I don't help this person, then I can't help myself. So that's not going to work. You making it worse for yourself, and then you will end up drained. It says that can be either good or bad depending on the circumstances. So you focus on someone else's needs rather than your own, and people think that's selfish, but that's okay. You can't help the whole world, and how you gonna help the whole world if you can't help yourself anyway? So that's pretty much with the Hierophant. So it's time for you to further your knowledge. And you got a lot of good people around you, whoever this is, to be able to help guide you in the right way. My last card is the Five of Wands, and it talks about rivalry, competitiveness, and clashes. It says conflict is the order of the day, especially in the world of work. This doesn't have to be a bad thing, and it's not. Competition is good. It can push you to your best you. So don't ever think about it as being a bad thing. It says competition can spur you on to greater things, and challenge may force a useful rethink, a mental straightening out. And this kind of go with the Hierophant card. So I feel like this talking to the same person or people. That's time for you to expand your mind and get back into your studies. And this could be part of the competition. See who could you know push you the hardest in the right direction. Let that be a competition. It says, but this card counsels caution. Is it possible that everyone is merely playing pointless mind games? Hmm. Uh, it's possible that everyone is merely playing pointless mind games. Okay, so I feel that the ancestors are saying about this pointless mind games. You know, what's the point of being in a competition if everybody's just really doing nothing? Is y'all not benefiting each other in no type of way? So
And remember, and when you're talking about competitions, none of us should be competing against each other in our spiritual work and our spiritual journey. Why? Because we are all unique. And the only competition you need is to be with yourself better than you were yesterday. Okay? You should not be competing, with your brethren or your sisters because each one need one. All right? And none of us, no matter if we are all doing tarot, we all have a uniqueness about ourselves. So away with the competition. Find what we uniquely have in common, and let's build on that rather than
And stop
competing.
and stop trying to tell people how they supposed to do, how they supposed to light a candle, how they supposed to cleanse, how they supposed to do this or that. That's not your. You don't have to do that. That person got their own path. Leave them alone. Let them do them. And if they feel that they need to do something a certain way, then they'll get to that. But you don't have to. Everybody don't have to put on the green candle for money. Some people use blue. Some people use red, black, white, whatever you want to use. It's your intentions that matter the most. That's what push it through. Because when your intent carries the energy, so.
Yes.
Gotta stop. We already in competition enough with a lot of things surrounding us, and y'all want to be in competition over some tarot cards and some candles. No.
And basically, with this moon, it's more so about us uniting, and that's through our creativity. So this is a good time for those of you that are battling with, the competitiveness and jealousy and envy. Take a look in the mirror, and deal with where you are, and try to embrace others, and this will help Source elevate you and make your heart lighter. Okay. Is there any others?
Well, I know one thing about this moon is that since it's pulling everybody together, we've been having a lot of dreams concerning elements like fire, air, water, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. So a lot of, if you've been having dreams about that, it's connected to the moon too. So
the other thing is, this moon also wants us to understand the power in our words. So as a magician and an alchemist in this moon, it talks about us being able to do whatever we need to do through our creativeness, okay, through our words, okay. And again, be mindful of the conversations you're having within. All right. You may say one thing, but your conversations inwardly can also contradict that conversation. I mean, those words that you spoke out into the universe. And so what we want to do is we want to spend our time for the next 14, 15 days. Give yourself an affirmation to say every day, and watch. Source deliver. I have some awesome reviews, guys, and it is from people that some of you are not letting up, and you're forcing the hand of the elements to work in your favor. You are the magician. You are. And for those of you that are giving up, you got to start all over again. Get your backbone, pull your pants up, get your feet in motion. Let's do this. We're going to make sure we make it happen. Only if you want it. There's nothing we can do if you don't want it. But you got to push yourself. Some of you guys are not willing to push yourself. Okay? But these moons matter.
Yeah, they do.
They are very powerful. Now, they matter. It's going to be a time when we won't be able to do all the work. All of this patiently, we're working. Things are going to be happening so fast, and we're not going to be able to do it. Reading your candles. Okay? Now, it looks like we may have one or two that are pretty easy, meaning you've pretty much got things going on, although I see a bend in all of them, but some more than others. Some of you guys, you're You might be doing pretty well, but I see one or two of you that are really stressed. Your wicks are kind of stressed, not curled up, but you're feeling this thing. Go ahead and just release it. It's a tower moment. You can raise it back up. Go ahead and release it. It's a tower moment. It has nothing to do with you or the other person. Source has mandated this. It's time for change in your life. So stop blaming others. It has nothing to do with that. It's like almost like a person that has an electrical fire in their house and they're able to make it out. But guess what? That was nobody's fault. That was faulty wiring. So you can't fault anybody or anything for that. That's an act of nature. Or if a tree fell in your house in a lightning storm, well, guess what? Nobody pushed that tree down. The tree fell. That was an act of nature. Again, nothing you can do about it. This is what Source is saying. These candles will straighten up when you make up your mind that you're going to straighten up and you're going to put your hand to the plow. And you're going to continually do your meditation. You're going to continually do your rituals and you're going to move forward. You're not going to listen to what people are saying and what other people are doing because that's what's throwing you off. You're trying to live a life for somebody else. Listen, don't get yourself in a rough. Okay. All right. Some of you are getting yourself all hyped up because you're trying to be somebody else. You cannot be that person. You're unique and you're favored by your ancestors. And you can be greater than that person. Some of you, some things are going to happen really fast. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of you are going to have some things to happen really fast in your life. And I just want to say up front right now, please be sure to give us a review. Congratulations. The hard work has paid off. Thank you for your subscriptions, Patreon. Those of you that have stuck with me from day one, thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. Then there's maybe about 3 of you guys that have a slow burning high flame. Doesn't mean anything bad. It's just saying that things may take their time coming, but guess what? You're going to keep it. Okay. Look at this one. This is a high flame right here. Somebody has some high intentions. Want to encourage you. You're meditating every day. You're speaking your affirmations. You're doing all the things that you're supposed to. Things are happening for you, and it's going to continue to just be like that. High flame, reaching your intentions are reaching the ancestors. All right, we got you guys taken care of. Love you so much. Would have did a live, but it got really late, guys. We had a few rituals going on. We had some court rituals, and we just didn't want the interruptions. But we love you. We'll be doing our regular scheduled reading on Thursday. We'll do a post to let you guys know. It'll either be Thursday or Friday. Either way, we'll do our soul reading. Okay, look forward to talking to you guys. Want to say I love you much and thank you for everything. Bye-bye.
Bye.